Hi everyone. I'd apologize for the delay, but life happens. Lunchtime with kiddos. I'd have my kiddos with me, but the train table has become more important than sitting with mommy and reading stories. Again, life happens, but I always have these books available and I get to sit with my kids. So I wanted to share these with you. I hope you're having a safe weekend, doing whatever you need to be doing that feels good for you. These are strange times, and we're just doing the best we can and pushing for change and adding just whatever we can to the mix. I'm trying to show just some sunshine and some joy. So I will start off with some of these books. I absolutely adore just books in general. As you can see by my shirt, that you're never alone when you have books, which is very true. All right, so we're gonna start off with our story time. If my kids join in, great. If not, we'll get it. All right, so the first book that I picked today, because it seemed appropriate for whatever's going on, or everything that's going on, honestly, and we're learning with our kids, is Peaceful Fights for Equal Rights. Written by Rob Sanders, illustrated by Jared Andrew Schorr. All right. I want to start off with this beautiful quote that's right here. We must pursue peaceful ends through peaceful means. Martin Luther King Jr. Assemble, take action, create allies. Make buttons, make banners, make bumper stickers too. Boycott, boycott, boycott. So some of the stickers of resist, enough, no bombs, peace, equal rights, Black Lives Matter, and peace. Chant, cheer, call someone, campaign, camp out. Demonstrate. Don't give up. Don't give in. See, enough is enough. Planet Earth first. No, love is love. Peace. Educate. Encourage. Endure. Be fearless. Fly a flag. File a lawsuit. Have faith. Give time. Give strength. Give money if you can. Shake a hand. Lend a hand. Have hope. Be hope. Inquire. Inform. Imagine. Invite. Join others on the journey. Join others in the fight. Knit a hat. Take a knee. Take a knee. Listen. Learn. Lead. Light a candle. Write a letter. Pass laws. March. Meditate. Mitigate. Motivate. Never stop. Organize, organize, organize. Parade. Picket. Post. Persist. Persevere. Pray. Ask questions. Never quit. Quietly do what's right. Read. Remember. Resist. See that book right there? She's reading. It's the book that the girl was reading from the piece of the page. Stand up. Speak out. Sit down. Sing loud. Be silent. You wonder about these pictures? These are the silent protests that were done during lunch tables during segregation. It's really something we need to open our eyes about as well. Strike. Turn up the volume. Peace. Unite. Vote. Volunteer. Keep vigil. Be nonviolent. Wear it. Wave it. Work for it. Write about it. Explain change. Amplify change. Expect change. You can only do what you can do. So do it. Everyone is different, and they just need to do what they can. Be zealous. Get that knowledge out. Okay, I'll read you an excerpt that's part of this book also. What I love about this. Shake a hand, lend a hand. Have hope and be hope. All right, peaceful protest. In the 1950s and 1960s, America witnessed nonviolent, peaceful protest on a large scale. The movement was rooted in the philosophies of Harry David Thoreau, who in 1849 wrote the essay of Civil Disobedience. Mahatma Gandhi practiced the principles of nonviolence in India in the 1930s, but it was Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., who became well known and well respected as the advocate for the use of peaceful protest in the United States. In 1957, Dr. King wrote The Power of Nonviolence. Even before that, he had begun teaching the philosophy of nonviolence and using it in protest for African American civil rights. Cesar Chavez used nonviolent protest in 1960 to organize farm workers and later to gain rights for Hispanics, or Latinx now. Those civil rights movements were followed by peaceful anti-war protest and by protests for women's rights, gay rights, and the environment, voter rights, and more. Not all peaceful protests are organized by large groups. When a person votes, he or she might actually be protesting. Sometimes people write a letter to express an opinion, or sing a song of protest, or stop buying certain products, or shopping for certain stores, while other people might buy a product to show their support in a particular way. Some might wear a specific t-shirt or button, put a bumper sticker on their car, knit a hat, post on social media, or fly a flag to share their views and opinions in a non-violent way. Others might light a candle, meditate about positive change they wish to see, or pray. Some people file lawsuits in the hopes of overturning laws and creating new ones. In The Power of Nonviolence, Dr. King exclaimed that the ultimate goal of nonviolent protest is not to humiliate or defeat the opponent, but to win the friendship and understanding. Dr. King said that the outcome of nonviolent protest will be reconciliation and the creation of a beloved community. As we sit and try to learn, I know you little ones are watching us and trying to understand what's going on, and we're here for you if you ever have any questions. Parents, I really do encourage you, and I hope you do, and have stuff to open a dialogue with your kids, because they're listening and they've got such amazing questions. So open that up for them, that outlet. And again, you can do anything. Little itty bitty things help out. Make a sign, talk to somebody new, share a smile is even better. Do what feels right for you. All right. Okay, lemons. So we are going to start a new book. It's called Lost and Found Cat. The True Story of Kunkush, An Incredible Journey, by Doug Kuntz and Amy Shrodes, illustrated by Sue Cornelison. All right. Let's see how this is. Late one night in August 2015, a car driven by a smuggler snuck out of the city of Mosul in a country of Iraq. The smuggler's passengers were a mother and her 4 daughters and 1 son. Their father had recently died. Schorr, the mother, had paid the smugglers to help her family free from the country. Mosul had become too dangerous. A few days earlier, the family had gotten ready to leave. Since they could only bring what they could carry, they picked up just 1 bag full of food and water. They could buy clothes later, but Schorr had decided that they would not leave without their beloved cat, Kunkush. Schorr prayed that the cat, hidden in a small carrier, would stay quiet. If the smuggler discovered Kunkush, he would probably make her pay a great deal more money. Two hours later, the car stopped and they were told to get out. The other smuggler met them and led them on foot through the forest and over mountains, stopping only to eat and sleep in the woods. Schorr feared for her children. Rihab, 18. Hagam, 16. Mab, 11. Hajab, 10. And Ansab, 9. But they saw it as an adventure, often singing as they walked during their 3-day journey. Schorr and her son, Hakim, took turns carrying Kunkush at the back of the line so that if the cat meowed, the smuggler would not hear them. Whenever they stopped to rest, Schorr took Kunkush behind the trees and led him out to feed him. On the 4th day, they reached a Kurdish village with another smuggler who was waiting to take him to Istanbul, Turkey, in a bus. While the smuggler drove, this family had to be on the lookout for patrols trying to catch them. The family stayed in the city for 2 weeks, moving from one apartment to the other. At least Kunkush could wander freely inside. Their family are waiting, going to different apartments, trying to get to a new place. Finally, it was time to cross the Aegean Sea to Greece. The family boarded another bus and drove to a place called Izmir on the Turkish coast. They walked for 3 hours along the beach until they were told to put on life jackets. All that family and all the other people trying to get to the other side. The Greek island of Lesbos was 6 miles across the water. Kunkush and her family were crammed into a flimsy rubber boat. It was meant to carry only 25 people, but there were more than 60 men, women, and children on this boat, plus one secret cat. A lot of people on one little boat trying to get to a better life. Also, as soon as the overcrowded boat launched, it began to take on water because it was just too heavy. From the shore, people shouted at the passengers to throw their belongings overboard and make the boat lighter, but most refused. Schorr tried to hold Kunkush's carrier above the water until a wave drenched them all. The sinking boat had returned to shore. As a crush of people got off, Kunkush's carrier's door was broken. Determined to make the crossing, Schorr told her children to stay aboard. The boat launched again, this time with fewer passengers. Schorr was scared because her only son, Hakem, could swim. Only her son could swim. But her daughters were unconcerned, enjoying the ride in the sun after weeks of hiding. The 3-hour crossing to Lesbos felt like it flew by thanks to their excitement. Volunteers in Greece waited ashore to help the hundreds of refugees arriving every day. As soon as the boat reached the beach, panicking, shivering passengers scrambled to get off. Hakem splashed aboard with Kunkush and put the carrier on dry land. Then he hurried back to help his mother off the boat. As the refugees have landed in the island of Greece. Wet and frightened, Kunkush pushed his way out of the broken door of the carrier. He quickly disappeared into the forest like a deer. Well, I can understand that little kitty cat being so scared. That was a pretty scary journey. See, he's all by himself now. Where's his family? While the rest of the boat passengers had loaded onto the bus to continue their journey, the family refused to leave without their cat. Several volunteers helped to look for Kunkush. They searched for hours. At last, they had given up. The heartbroken family needed to leave, taking the next step towards their new home. See, as they're looking for their beloved cat, but unfortunately had to leave. They needed to go on to their new home. In the little fishing village on Lesbos, near where Kunkush's family had arrived, there lived a colony of island cats. No one owned them, but a fisherman kept them well fed. A few days after Kunkush's family had left, volunteers noticed a white cat hanging around the local cafes. The white cat's fur was filthy and matted. He looked like he was starving. The local cats seemed to know that he was a stranger. They hissed and spat and chased him away. There's Kunkush. One of the volunteers, Amy, told her friend and a fellow volunteer, Ashley, about the cat she had seen. Could this white cat be the one that the family had lost? After questioning villagers and searching the island, Amy and Ashley found the white cat and took him to a local vet. The volunteers had been part of the family. Found Kunkush. Dr. Constantia shaved the cat's matted, filthy fur. She gave him shots and other medicines, but the cat needed a name now. The doctor suggested Diaz to give him strength. Diaz was the Greek name for Zeus, the king of the ancient Greek gods. At the veterinarian getting all checked out. The friend took Diaz back to Amy's apartment. His shaved fur was full of sand and bugs. Amy bathed and scrubbed him until he was clean. 5 minutes after his bath, the exhausted cat collapsed face down mid-meow and slept. Oh. Diaz stayed with Amy for over a month. Often he prowled around her apartment, yelling loudly. Amy believed he was looking for his family. Bet he was. I'd be looking for my family too if I was separated from them. Amy and her friends were determined to reunite Diaz with his family, but where were they? Volunteers created flyers, and Amy's friend Michelle, back in the United States, made a Facebook page for him. People contributed money to help pay for his medical care and travel. Before long, new stories about the lost cat appeared in the world. Millions of people saw the videos, articles, and Facebook updates about Diaz. He had become famous. See, they're creating Reunite Diaz. Please click here to donate. And the flyers that say, Lost, please help reunite Diaz. Contact Ashley, Amy, or Doug. Amy was fairly sure that Diaz's family had left Greece. Many of the refugee families had traveled to Germany. Since Amy's time in Lesbos was ending, she made plans to take Diaz to Germany. She and Diaz flew to Berlin, where the British couple named Emma and Simon agreed to take him and continue the search. If his family could not be found after a year, they would adopt him. All these people getting involved to help this sweet little cat find his family. And then, on Valentine's Day, the family saw the lost cat on the news website. The oldest daughter, Rehab, who had learned some English, contacted Amy and her friends through Facebook. Everyone had been looking in the wrong place. The family was living in Norway, not Germany. Rehab told Amy that Diaz's real name was Kunkush. The volunteers arranged a Skype visit. When the family saw the fluffy white cat on the screen, they called Kunkush, and his ears all perked up. He had started to look for his family. Oh, look at that reunited. Even if it's just from technology, they still got to see each other right now. That's just a huge relief on our hearts. A photographer named Doug in Lesbos and Germany to show the refugee story to the world, agreed to fly with Kunkush from Germany to Norway. But when he got to the airport in Berlin, the supervisor behind the counter told him he could not board the plane. The carrier is too small, she sniffed. By this time, a crowd had gathered around Doug and his yowling white cat. Doug pleaded with her. He told her the carrier was the right size. That carrier is so small the cat can't turn around, she snapped. At that moment, Kunkush made a dramatic 180 turn around his carrier. The crowd laughed, and the supervisor grudgingly agreed to allow them to get on the plane. It's just silly that she thinks that it's too small, especially for an airplane. In Norway, Doug rented a car and drove 2 hours to the family's new home. They were waiting eagerly for him. So was a team of camera people and reporters. Shara opened the door and blinked in the bright lights of the cameras. Then she burst into tears as Doug placed Kunkush in her arms. "My habibi," she murmured. That's Arabic for my darling. The entire family crowded around the long-lost pet. After 4 months and thousands of miles, Kunkush and his family were finally together in their new home. We are all safe, Citra. As Doug has Kunkush, he gets to be with his family once again. Now, this is a note from the volunteers for Doug and Amy. When we first met Kunkush, we knew that he must have been very special to somebody. Imagine how much his family loved Kunkush to carry him out of a war zone. Kunkush reminded us of our pet friends back home and how we'd feel if we lost them because of a war or natural disaster. What we wouldn't do to see them again. That's why we knew we needed to try to find his family. The search wasn't easy. People in many different countries banded together, working for months until finally the unseemingly impossible was achieved. Kunkush's family was found in Norway, and then they were able to be reunited. The refugee crisis is one of the most monumental events happening in our world today, among other things. Millions of people have fled countries like Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, and parts of Africa seeking a safer life. We both went to Greece because we felt compelled to help, each in our own way. Amy, as a volunteer helping to the arriving refugees, and Doug, a photojournalist, bringing the plight of the refugees to the people around the globe. We are living in a unique time in history, a time when the internet allows us to meet people from other cultures and to hear their perspectives about what's going on in our world. We all have something valuable to share and the ability to reach out and help. This story is about making that choice. It is only because of all the people who got involved in that Kunkush found his family. His story helps remind us that we all need each other. On May 20th, 2016, Kunkush passed away suddenly from a feline virus. He was surrounded by his loving family. While we wish his life could have been longer, he left the world knowing that he was loved unconditionally. This book is his legacy, bringing hope to others through his story. A portion of these proceeds from this book will be going towards lifting up more people around the world. Duncan and Amy Shrodes. That is a beautiful message that I hope all of us can take from today and onward to push our momentum and helping others, because it does take us all. But here, little ones, this was Kunkush's journey, just so you kind of get a little bit of perspective. So here's the map. So they started off in Iraq or Mosul, traveled all the way across Turkey, get to the coast, go across the little inlet and goes to Lesbos in Greece. Then they traveled all the way to Germany, to Berlin. So went from there to here, and then ended up finding his family in Norway. It's quite a journey for one little animal. If you didn't believe that all of this was true, little ones, we've got the pictures too. All right, so like Sarah and her children, these Muslim families have left a war-torn country seeking safety in Europe. Boat landings in Lesbos are chaotic as volunteers like Amy help to guide the boats in the shore and rough surf. Kunkush finally found his way into the community of the wild cats, but they wouldn't let them join his group. By the time Amy and Ashley found Kunkush, he had been through very rough times. Oh, poor baby. Kunkush is skinny and shaved and waits for his family to find him. Amy took a good care of Kunkush in Greece until the foster family was found in Germany. So there's Amy. Kunkush and his passport ready for his trip to Germany. Sarah was overcome with emotion when she was reunited with Kunkush. Sarah and Kunkush are so happy to be together again in their new home in Norway. The whole family missed Kunkush. Finally, the family is complete. Suri and her daughters pose with Kunkush's carrier. Kunkush makes himself home in Norway. And also, meet Kunkush, the cat who inspired an international search effort to write him for his and his family. Again, that's one cat that everybody came together to make sure that they were okay and united and had the efforts to change one being's life. Imagine what we could do with everybody else just by actions and kindness and helpfulness. All right. I hope you enjoyed that one. I thoroughly enjoy it just for the inspiration and also the knowledge that there's other people that need help in the world, and there's so many willing helpers. Just have to find them. All right, so we're going to go off into this next book. It's The Wonderful Things You Will Be by Emily Winifred Martin. Take this off because it's just a little easier for me. I have to show you these pictures because I think they're just so pretty. Look, all those wonderful little ones. When I look at you and you look at me, I wonder what wonderful things you will be. When you were too small to tell me hello, I knew you were someone I wanted to know. For all of your tininess couldn't disguise a heart so enormous and wild and wise. This was the first time there's ever been you. So I wonder what wonderful things you will do. Will you stand up for good by saving the day? Will you play a song only you know how to play? Will you tell a story that only you know? Will you learn what it means to help things grow? Will you learn how to fly to find the best view? Or take care of things much smaller than you? I know you'll be kind. And clever. And bold. And the bigger your heart, the more it will hold. When nights are black and the days are gray, you'll be brave and be bright, so no shadows will stay. Then you'll discover all there is to see. And become anyone that you would like to be. Let's see what's behind the curtain. Magical things. And then I'll look at you, and you'll look at me, and I'll love you, whoever you grow up to be. Hope you enjoyed that one, little ones. What do you want to be? Tell me. Tell your parents, tell everybody that's around you. We're here to help you grow and achieve anything that you want to do. All right. Normally I finish at 3 books, but I have a bonus book. This is from one of my former co-workers, Carrie. I used to work at a counseling center, and so she suggested this as a kind of a way to check in with your body. Especially helps out with little ones when you're kind of decompressing through the day and kind of checking in with yourself and your mentality, because we can care about everybody the way we want to, but we also have to remember to take care of ourselves. So we're going to dive into this wonderful book that helps me out, and I know it helps out my kids. So thank you, body. Thank you, heart. A gratitude and self-compassion practice for bedtime. By Jennifer Cohen Harper, illustrated by Gilmour. Okay, I'm going to read you the welcome letter for this. Welcome letter. You are important. Welcome to this journey of gratitude and self-compassion. Yes, I'm talking about this book, but hopefully also about your life. You may be a parent, teacher, guardian, friend, sibling, or maybe you're reading this book to yourself. No matter who you are, your unique body, mind, and heart have a role to play to make this world a loving and healthy place for children everywhere. Each and every person is an irreplaceable marvel. Don't forget to be in awe of yourself today. Because I probably forgot to. I'm so glad that you're here now so that we can remember together. Much love. All right. Start off. Thank you, feet that worked all day. You helped me stand. You helped me play. Thank you, legs that are strong. You moved and grooved me right along. Feet and legs, now you can rest. All day you did your very best. Those legs doing the work for you today. Belly, you deserve some praise. You kept me healthy in many ways. Take a break, and while I sleep, get ready for tomorrow's food to eat. Back that kept me sitting tall. You rarely get a break at all. You twist and turn and lift and bend. But now the day is at an end. Chest and lungs that let me breathe. You work and work without reprieve. Careful for me and caring for me in dark and light. I'm grateful for your work tonight. Thank you, heart, for beating steady. Whether I'm nervous or brave, you're always ready. Supporting me in all I do, I'm strong and proud because of you. Arms and shoulders, you held the load of all I've carried, pulled, and thrown. Your muscles may be pretty sore, but tonight you won't work anymore. Hands, I want to give you a high five for all the patient work you've tried. Drawing, cutting, carrying stuff. Does all that doing ever get tough? Neck, you're so very strong. You hold my head up all day long, turning left and turning right. You're done for the night. Thank you, eyes, for guiding me through a world that has so much to see. I'll look for beauty all around, but tonight, let's just sleep, safe and sound. Birds and friends and lullabies, ears that listen are a prize. Sometimes quiet can be nice too. I hope it feels as good for you. Just we check into our body. Nose, you bring me yummy scents like pie and flowers and peppermints. But sometimes you protect me too. Thank you, nose, for all you do. I am grateful for a mind that knows I'm special from my head to my toes. And all of me deserves to rest, so all of me can do my best. So we meditate and check in with our body parts. Tomorrow I'll be on my way, ready to start a brand new day. But tonight, I'll give some loving care to this body that takes me everywhere. Okay, ready to check in with your bodies? Ready? Say, thank you, feet and legs. Thank you, belly. Thank you, back. Sorry about the dog. Thank you, chest. Thank you, heart. Thank you, arms. Thank you, hands. Thank you, eyes. Thank you, ears. Thank you, nose. Thank you, mind. Thank you, body. Man, your body does a lot for you, huh? You should always try to thank it. Tomorrow, I'll be on my way, ready to start a brand new day. But tonight, I'll give you some loving care to this body that takes me everywhere. Okay, I'm going to read this from the author. Note to caregivers. Thank you for taking the time to explore gratitude and self-compassion with the children in your life. There are so many things that will shape a child's relationship with their body. Many of them are outside of our control. But the more we can do to create a healthy identity early on, the more resilient our kids will be when they are faced with the wildly competing messages about their worth. One consideration is often, as our kids get older, we relate more and more to their bodies based on the way it looks. Actually, I find the world already relates to my young daughters based on that, how they look. So we can remember to help kids orient their bodies in terms of function and feeling. And we can help them become more embodied people with better self-awareness and increase the ability to understand and meet their own needs. When you make this book a regular part of your nighttime ritual, but if your children want their other stories or start to move away from it as they get older, the short body scan content on these prior pages offers an easy guide to keep the practice a consistent part of your routine. I hope that you and your children in your life fall more in love with yourselves every day. With love and gratitude, Jen. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in this story time. I hope you enjoyed it and that some of these books were just something you wanted to add to your collection, because I sure do love them in mine. Again, if you have any other suggestions, I am open to them. There are so many books out there that I honestly would encourage you to research and look and add them into your little mini libraries. We all need to just branch out and find different stories for other people so we can start to understand even more. Again, I hope you have a wonderful weekend that's safe and what you want to put out in the world. Again, thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you next week. Bye, everybody.